Hello? Oh. Oh. Yeah, beg your pardon for that. Let's get the... I'll explain myself, but we're doing more of the... as you can... see? Doing more of the... covering this, and I'll explain that. Well, this is... that's nice. This is more of the turning this beautiful place, this place that I have rightfully called Butt, into a parking lot. A wonderful, serene, calm parking lot. Let me just do another thing, because you need more things to do. That was actually quite pleasant where it was. We'll mess with it all the same, and this will be our go-to. Today I've had a stack of technical difficulties. Oh, not fully related to this, but with everything. The internet wouldn't work. My headphones and microphone wouldn't work. There's these power plants. That one there isn't working either. The software that I've been using to stream reset all of its settings. The console that I'm using, the game console, wasn't working. And I've restarted all of it a number of times. We did the whole thing. So that's been a real special treat. So hopefully all the settings right now are appropriate as they should be. These figures look appropriate to me. So I'm going to set my little timer. Complaints aside, desisant, this is a show which I have decided to call DesTerrible Streams, and the series here is taking a town or a map in SimCity on the Super Nintendo and turning it into a beautiful, serene parking lot for everyone to enjoy. Oh, goodness. But this is pleasant. I like this. Whatever else, I'm just going to listen to this tune for just a moment. This is something I played a fair amount as a kid and don't really have a whole lot of practical memory of, but it's soothing. Got a little soreness in my skull, so this will help. Okay. Now, where were we? One thing, a little border we can do around here. So I hope everyone has had a mercy. hope everyone has had a fruitful week. Lots of pleasant experiences. Okay, as we can see, the fire is still firing away. That's okay. There's room in this butt for the fire. It's not hurting anyone except for a parking lot, and a parking lot is a renewable resource, so just for those that don't know, I do with a friend of mine, George Shooter Nolan, a podcast. We show ourselves, as I am showing myself here on this platform, on YouTube, and we also have releases of the podcast where you find podcasts. I've got links. We call it the Podcast Terrible, and it doesn't seem to have a very definite aim. We're just sort of chatting about this and that. And then again, we're turning this whole thing into a parking lot, and there's sort of not a lot of aim to it. But all the technical difficulties, at least so far, knock on wood, have been taken care of, so just sort of destroy this nature, replace it with a beautiful parking lot, and let our memories of hours of technical difficulties related to multiple projects wash away like the filth of the world. What a treat. Have to get to this a little bit sooner, but this is when I had time to get to it. Hope the audio should be fine, and if not, I'll move a bit closer here, but the music is ultimately a bit more pleasant than anything I've got to say, to me anyway. Let's see, right here, I think the audio is maybe a little louder than it ought to be. We'll try this. Hello. Hopefully this is the way to function. It's a way. The test worked out all right, so I've been thinking of topics for the podcast to discuss, and I was speaking to I texted George earlier about one of the things that we could talk about. The text It read, I think one thing we might discuss on the PUD is how interactions between strange men always seem to contain an element of threat. We're going to set the figures just as they are. So one is a small expectation that violent interaction is possible, and one must always give off just a hint that one might become violent if sufficiently provoked. And I don't know if that's unique to my experience, but you know, I'm on edge a little bit more these days than I feel might be healthy. I've developed sort of the odd expectation that random people might assault me if I have any interaction with them, and it's given me sort of a cagey attitude in public. Actually being so interacted with has happened after a fashion often enough while driving. It's usually just sort of coming upon the potential of something like that as opposed to actually being struck. I have been hit and I have been the victim of a hit and run. I have been hit in the rear a number of times by drivers. I remember one winter on the way to school years ago, somebody pulled right in front of me and slammed on the brakes during a blizzard. So there's been a little bit of bad luck there, but I've been unlikely to be assaulted in public, but it has happened. There seems to be I don't know, some degree of unfriendly interaction that I picked up on, and I don't know. Sometimes, occasionally, there have been some negative interactions with random strangers. I become a little bit neurotic. I don't know. That's, I suppose, something to muse on another time. Doesn't really, like a few years back, this was when I had been away on a project for college. I was in an airport and got shoved for no reason. Another time, somebody on the bus started screaming at. No, it was public transportation. Someone started screaming at me. Sat down across the seat from me, and rare occurrences. I just feeling a lot of aggression from people, and it seems like the proper response is to respond in kind, so I have a bit of an avoidance style lately. I don't know. Beg your pardon. I remember the last time we spent in Butt here, our lovely landmass that we're turning gradually into a parking lot. It's a bit more upbeat, so I'm going to try to keep into that tone. There's enough things to aggravate one. That's probably more interesting for the little podcast that we do, the Pudcast, if you like, which we call terrible. I suppose it is. Oh dear. Well, there's our selection of nuclear power plants and little amusement park with some Ferris wheels. Got a nice stew going. After this, I think I'll have a little stew. Sometimes when all the hardware and software and everything seems to be resetting on a repeat, and it works for a second and then you have to turn it back off again, and then it works for a second. You figure out how to reset it, and then you reset your computer. You know, you're just trying to figure out how to restart its mind so it'll talk to things like it once did. I had that experience with 3 pieces of hardware and multiple software today. I think I had a point there. It's been sort of I don't know, I can hear my headache. So, but I do like listening to this soundtrack. Well, basically on here, as I may have said last time that I've done this, we Shooter and I, we just trying different things to see what we can do with this, if there's anything fun or interesting to do. So I'm going to be streaming a bit from time to time, maybe more regularly. There are some things that I've wanted to pick up on. I thought it'd be fun to I don't know, maybe get into The Sims again. This would be sort of an excuse to use that. I'm not very likely to play on my own time. It takes quite a long time, The Sims. If it was for something like this, and I could see it growing, changing, it would be perhaps more appropriate for that. But I do play games on my own time, but when I do, part of the fun is trying something new. And so I try not to engage in something that takes a very long time, because some of the novelty can wear off from things that take an exceptionally long time, at least for me. At least right now, that's where my headspace has been. I've been doing a replay of the Wind Waker. I'd played it on the GameCube a while back, and lately I've been playing it on the Wii U. It's a copy of that has been in a stack of games that I've meant to get to for a while now. I mean, it has been in wait for a while. But there's always some. I think the nomenclature is backlog. Always something to get to, and it's nice. It's nice to look forward to something. One thing that was a nice surprise recently, that it didn't get old. It didn't lose the novelty, was Breath of the Wild. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I suppose it's been a while since I've played that. Now, another one that I kind of stuck with. Yeah, I tend to finish them. But the enjoyment stayed was Undertale. That one comes to mind as being about as thrilling through the whole playthrough. I rather enjoyed that. When I was a kid, I liked to play the bad guy in games that would let you play the bad guy just to break things up, just to smash things. But as I've gotten older, what I found, like the Fable games, as an example, you can be real nasty and just mess things up in that. But as I've gotten older, I've found that the engagement decreases because it's fun for a while to smash things. It really is. But if you're not going to give any real meaning to your surroundings or what you're supposed to do, if you're just messing it up, then it's kind of hard to keep the same level of investment up. So like when I played the Mass Effect games, I believe that I've only done the Paragon run-throughs because being a jerk sort of showed low investment. Though that bit on I think it's the third one where you can give an advertisement to the store. I'm Commander Shepard and this is my favorite store. That was very disingenuous as far as I could tell. It didn't seem like a sincere thing. But Undertale was about the same. I played the pacifist route, and I'm not sure. I missed out on the Sands battle, and I'm sure that was excellent, and I'm sure the gameplay is fine. But since story is such a big part of it, I'm not sure if I were to be reckless and violent, I would have been able to keep the same engagement up. And I thought it was a really interesting concept. Playing through and deliberately not destroying the enemies that are attacking you, and that is the morally correct thing to do. It's a fun novelty. This is a fun novelty as well. There's some DOS games that I wanted to try on this. I had a disc somewhere that had a large collection of DOS games. If you're familiar with a woman who makes videos on YouTube, Pushing Up Roses, one of the earlier videos was her reviewing DOS games from a disc with a friend of hers, and just random videos playing while I work or in the kitchen or do things. I watched that one and recognized it as the menu specifically being the same menu that I recognized. I have that disc somewhere, and it's got a heap of DOS games, and I can't find it. DOS games or maybe The Sims. I like The Sims. The Sims is pretty good. Last time I tried to play it, it kept crashing, but that was on a computer that has since died and been restored enough to get some of my information off of it and then replaced. So maybe this new model is the one to do it. I can't tell you. I can only wait and see with the rest of the world. I'm sure that's a pretty interesting topic. Did a gimmick on the last one of these, the part 1 had a little Easter egg at the start during my long opening plate, where I did a reference to a character from Farscape. She was a favorite of mine. Do something stupid and fun. This is pretty good. I was running the game footage through in the first little streams that I did a Super Mario hack, a spooky thing. You know what? We don't need any power plants to run our parking lot. And really, parking lot is enough of a... Oh, no residential. People can't live on a parking lot. That would be obscene. You know, I haven't eaten much today. I'm gonna enjoy that that stew. I remember one time I was pulled over speeding. They said something about my insurance being expired, but it wasn't. They just pulled me over there, checked me out on the freeway, and they had me doing a sobriety test on the side of the road, and then they had me do push-ups, and then they had me do one-armed push-ups, and then they called two other cars for backup. And the fellow called me a liar, and you know, I said hadn't done anything. They wanted to search my car, and I said absolutely as soon as you get a warrant. You know, one thing that I learned in college is they have no obligation to safeguard your property, so you always do what the police instruct you to. It wouldn't be safe not to. But if they want to search, don't give them permission unless they're willing to get a warrant. You read about and you see some unfortunate stories where people's possessions are destroyed. And, you know, they may or may not get a warrant. And I'm sure if they had cause to, they would have. I make a point not to break the law. I don't want to have unfavorable interactions with law enforcement, but you know, I hadn't done anything. I wasn't rude. You know, there's no crime on a parking lot this size. It just wouldn't be economical to do crimes here. This fellow in a pickup truck seemed like he was 60s or 70s. Lots of room elsewhere. I don't hang out in the left lane. I was in the right lane because I was at the exit. I don't speed. I don't want to have any unfavorable interactions, and I believe in keeping consistent with the rules of the road, because if everybody follows those same basic rules, then you know, except for extreme circumstances, like an animal jumps in front of your car or your automobile blows up, people will all get home safe and alive. But this fellow, you know, I'm okay. I don't like to drive closely to the vehicles ahead of me, because I think if somebody hits me, I'll bump into the car ahead of me. So I was probably, what, it was freeway. I might have been 7 or 8 car lights in behind of behind a semi truck. You know, nowhere for me to go on the left. This is my exit, and the guy gets. It seemed like he was within a foot, and he starts flashing his brights at me. I don't brake check. I think responding to dangerous behavior by, you know, threatening the life of somebody else and even other people, you know, if somebody swerves out of control, other people that are totally unrelated to the incident, is not a fair and appropriate thing to do. But I do understand the mindset. It's very frustrating when somebody tries to use that space of air between you and them to try and bully you into action. And it's never safe to respond to that, because any quick action in response to that behavior could put your life in danger, or their life, or somebody who is not related. But I don't know. I was looking at a list of some of the more dangerous places to drive, or rather the worst drivers. And I guess it's not uncommon for my area. People are renowned for being poor drivers where I live, and there are many positive aspects about where I live, but I haven't been seeing them. kind of envy. This is, you think about comparable cultures, like we're closest to, I would say, the English, Brits in general, and Canadians. Similar languages allowed the cultures to be very related. And then, proximity, Canada. I don't know. They probably have an easier go of it. They probably feel safe in public. Maybe they don't. Maybe people are generally unkind, but I don't know. I go to the store. I don't know. I pay attention to the news to see when there are issues. And yes, I'm likely to wear a mask going to the store, especially if I check and see that there's some kind of an issue. And somebody with a cowboy hat and a gun hanging out of his pocket glaring at me doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do anything to you. I don't know if you ever come across somebody doing missionary work for their religion, not some service, but proselytizing, trying to actively convert people. And they're very adamant, as are people who are traditionally religious. If there are multiple religions that are the one true faith, then none of the one true faiths are the one true faith. So it's like having a different opinion or operation with people that you're not even interacting with. But I don't know, having a different. If you're different than the people around you, then it sort of invalidates perspective that their behavior and belief system is the one correct behavior and belief system. So I guess if you're out driving, or if you're on the bus, or you're just in situations, the airport situations where you're going to be interacting with people that don't recognize you as similar to themselves, it is in a way kind of a threat to their way being the correct way of being. And for that reason, among others, perhaps they take issue with you being. It's threatening. A demonstration that there are other ways to be, or threatening, is threatening to the idea that there is one distinct and appropriate way to be, I think. But I don't know. Not a lot to do out in the world anymore. Kind of had my flings, I guess. I don't feel a strong need to see movies in theaters. Doesn't seem to be anything that I want to see. But everyone I know have kind of grown apart. So you just try to keep fresh. You read a book that it seems like you can get excited about. You watch a movie or make some food at home that feels like you can get excited about. Like I was saying, it's kind of why I like to keep the games short. like I enjoy this. I'm clearly not working with a very serious motivation. I'm just trying to make everything into a parking lot. But it's less fresh for me and more relaxing. It's just sort of a pleasant thing to do. I don't know if it has any value beyond that. I'm just hoping that my audio picks up okay. It seems to be doing so. But it wouldn't really keep it fresh for something like this, because the act of streaming it is sort of a novelty. There's that. But you know, it wouldn't be my main little gaming experience, because I want to have something appeal to me as new and exciting and worth spending my time with. You know, I spend it seems like quite a lot of time trying to make some money, and then trying to make some smart decisions with it. The other day in the morning, the radio wakes me up. It seemed like they were talking about. It didn't seem like. What I gathered from what I was hearing, this was a little morning thing on NPR. You may or may not have heard it. Was this thing where it's sort of the expectation that people are going to be working into their 70s. There were these people that they were interviewing, or maybe it was a couple, but talking about how maybe they didn't interview them, but they were talking about people who had retired and were needing to go to the food bank to get some food, despite having been in the workforce all their lives. So, you know, I invest all the money I make. You know, I give myself a very small allowance, so I'll buy a new movie or something, but I don't much do restaurants. Like, I went to a bar and grill that has a nice sandwich I like. Good local beer, and I hadn't been there in a long time. And what I found that they had changed since I had been there last is that they used QR codes to scan the menu to, instead of like they had no paper menu at all. There was none, no paper menu, and you know, my phone. It doesn't even connect much of the time. It doesn't seem to like the switch to 5G. Sometimes, you know, you get a text message fairly quickly. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. Sometimes it takes hours, just depending on what it feels like doing. And I haven't quite caught up to using good QR codes, so. So I just used the recommendation that the lady tending bar suggested. She said it was real good, and it was fine. It was like one plate covered in coleslaw, and I like coleslaw, but if I had seen the menu, I would have ordered something else. So, you know, that's I hope we missed our timer. gone over 12 minutes past where I intended. Let's clean up this nice little spot here. I still talk to Shooter every day. He's a good old fellow. We text back and forth. Actually met in college back when I don't know, I suppose we and the others that we knew were more naive and excitable. It was an interesting time. To have interesting times. I've had a few of those. You know, I'll try and impart with a farewell message in my meandering way. Perhaps it'll be a bit less awkward than my normal not knowing how to sign off, but I was talking a little bit earlier to myself, of course, about the feeling that when you go into public that people around you are, you know, somewhat aggressive, and you feel like it's your responsibility to be somewhat aggressive. You know, I'm sure this is a stupid and meaningless thing to say, but and I'll try and keep it in mind. But I think it's probably a good idea to try and practice compassion for yourself and strangers who have, you know, the exact same range of emotion and sentiency that you are yourself likely to have. You know, it's hard to know what's going to stick with somebody and make them feel bad. You know what does that to you. You know, probably try not to put that on other people if you can help it. Don't drive too close to the other cars. You know, you can't do much about what other people do, but if you keep a fair distance from the guy in front of you, just so if he were to immediately stop, you could safely coast. You know, it's relative to the speed, I'm sure. Then you can be pretty sure that barring a lightning strike or a moose hitting your car or some defect that it was you know, not really cost effective for the manufacturer to fix, causes something unfortunate. Be pretty sure that everybody's going to arrive home safely and maybe have a little bit more time to figure themselves out. Yeah, well, hope you've enjoyed turning this place we call Butt into a parking lot. I've enjoyed it. It's been wonderful. I've been and will continue to be Desisant, and I'm going to put it over to that little end plate and theme I made up that I seem to like so much. So from all of us over here at me, all the best.